Happy birthday, Cancers, and welcome back to Cappy Cove. This is going to be your love reading for July of 2019. It's for those who have Cancer in their sun, their moon, their rising, or their Venus. Keep in mind, it's a general reading. Not all messages will apply to everyone. Be sure to like and subscribe. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, actually, you know what? I got my AC running. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it or not. I'm sorry. I live in Texas. It's hot as shit. I'm not turning it off. Just got to put it out there. Now, I'm seeing here for those who are single, all the single Cancers out there, I see opportunities coming in. Some of you may be dating, or if you aren't dating, there's going to be somebody who kind of comes in, and I feel like you're going to really like them at first. But I feel like I feel like there's more than one person, and then some of these are going to burn out really quick. I feel like it's a very specific message for those of you who are ready to be in a relationship. Your chances of being with a new person is going to be a lot longer lasting than those who haven't been doing the work on themselves. Yes, if you can hear my cat, she agrees. But I feel like a lot of Cancers this month, when it comes to like their relationships and love life, they're going to be feeling very withdrawn or to themselves, or kind of in a funk. Like, I feel like some of you just kind of feel like to yourself. Not that you necessarily want to be, but I do see opportunities for singles to be dating overall. I just see that some of these are not going to last very long, whereas some of them may stand a chance. But either way, I feel like if you are single, it's more of a time to just kind of have fun and date. I'm also seeing that there's somebody here that is going to hook up with somebody really quick, and then they're not going to hear back from that person, and they're wondering why. I'll answer that for you. It was a one-night stand, okay? I'm just saying, you don't hear back from them and you end up putting out too quick. It was a one-night stand. I feel like a lot of you are so feeling kind of overwhelmed when it comes to relationships, or have been overwhelmed in a relationship. Like, there's either going to be a lot going on. I feel like you're either going to be overstimulated or understimulated with this love person, but I feel like it's more for those in relationships. So either like there's so much going on with this partner, or you're going to be so understimulated that it's like you're bored and you're just not satisfied with anything. I'm also seeing here that there could be some of you who are about to be making commitments if you're already in a relationship. Some of you might be moving up to like the next level with this person, whether it be, you know, you're going to get like a key to their apartment, or you're going to be moving in with them, or you're going to be getting engaged or married, or something of those sorts. I do feel like there will be some type of like some of the couples here are going to have some type of like announcement to share with other people too. I also feel like some of those Cancers who are in relationships, y'all are going to be like going places or having things to attend with your partner. Or maybe like you're getting together and like attending somewhere that y'all agreed to start going to. Because I do feel like there's this sense of those who are in relationships, like this sense of like things changing, or the need to change in the relationship. I also see somebody going out on a date with someone and they're like under the stars, like at night. I see some of you could be having dreams, almost like sex dreams, or dreams of someone from the past. Be careful for those who are trying to get into a relationship with somebody and it seems like they're emotionally like comforting to you and they like emotionally get you. I feel like when it comes to this person, like it's almost, okay, I mean, you have the Knight of Cups here. So it's like the romance card or somebody coming in and sweeping you off your feet energy. But I feel like when this person comes in, be careful not to get too caught up in that. I feel like for some of you, this person, like neither of you are laying the groundwork, or there's not enough trust and energy within this dynamic in order for it to last longer. It's almost like you get hooked up or get with this person and it's like you skip all the steps in between. Some of you are going to have somebody that reveals to you that they like you. I feel like somebody here is going to get dumped because they aren't good enough in bed. I have to say it how I see it. I'm also seeing here that there's somebody that ends up finding out the truth about something, or that was lied to. Some of you may find out about your love partner or interest or whoever it is, whether you're single or in a relationship, but you find out that they're with somebody else or seeing somebody else. And some of you, it's just that they're talking to somebody else. And I feel like for those that are in a relationship, though, this is like going to be a big changing point within that relationship. But I do see here that you're going to find out about some type of like communication between the partner and the other person. I do feel like for most Cancers, y'all are still going to try to hold on to this relationship. I know Cancers have a really hard time of letting go, so I feel like you're going to try to hold on to it. And in some cases, I feel like it would be necessary, but I feel like this is going to be for those who have a situation that's much more complex than other Cancers. So it really is going to depend on each individual situation, but I feel like for the ones where it's like an extremely complex situation, it's going to be a lot more complicated than just a simple, I gotta go. I do get a sense here that there are some of you Cancers who are just kind of like not really content or happy with where you're at anymore within relationships, and a lot of you may be afraid to step outside the box and do things in different ways. You have the Hierophant, so I mean a lot of you are sticking to like traditional ways of doing things, but it's almost like you need something different to spark your interest. I feel like some of you really want, like you want somebody to come up to you and just like admire your physical appearance. It's almost like when you first get with somebody, you want that kind of like new spark to come back and you want them to like ooh and ah all over your ass. But I feel like you don't get that, and I feel like that's for more of those in relationships. Now, I do see some of you Cancers will be either breaking up or there can be some separations here. Some of you may end up separating and finding out later that the person that you separated from ends up like getting with somebody else, or this might be when you find out they're talking to somebody else. It could be during that time frame, but I do feel like, and I also see for some of you, those, whenever y'all have like that separation or that break, I feel like for some of you may forgive somebody for being with somebody else during that time frame, but I do see there's going to be a lot of communication around this. And it's not necessarily that they're going to be sleeping with somebody else. They could just be talking to somebody else. And somebody is getting like jealous of the way, like, why don't they do that with me? Why are they going to do that with this person? Why can't they look at me this way? Why can't they touch me this way? Why can't they say to me the things they say to them? I keep getting that like vibe right there. Like it just keeps coming in really heavy. There also may be some of you who go the opposite direction and have like zero communication with this person. So like I said, it's going to go either way for depending on your situation. I do feel like a lot of you are going to need a lot of rest when it comes to like having the individual you time. I feel like either you're going to need to take more time to yourself, or you've had so much time to yourself, you're going to be putting yourself out there more. I feel like the single people are going to be the ones that are like more going out and redating and stuff again. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot here that has to do with like self-image. And like somebody's like looking in the mirror and they don't like the way they look. Like you don't like the way something is about yourself, or you don't feel good with the way you are. And sadly, I feel like some of you, this is like an insecure thing. And I feel like, once again, I've said this before in Cancer videos in some of the general readings, but there is like a need to work on self-love and taking care of yourself and who you are, like emotionally. So I feel like it's almost like a confidence thing, especially for those. I feel like that's going to be for more of those Cancers who feel like they're in a rut. I feel like some of you are scared of change when it comes to relationships. And there's going to need to be change here. And I feel like there's also some Cancers out here that aren't wanting to look at their truths within themselves. Specifically when it comes to like your shadow side, like your negative traits, like you're wanting to see negative things in other people, but not within yourself. And I feel like those are going to have to get looked at and reevaluated before the critiquing of somebody else can come into play. I hope that makes sense. Like I said, it's a general reading, y'all. This is not for everybody. Take what applies to you, though. And that's always like a hard thing to hear, is when you have to think about yourself and looking at yourself and all your issues. But I do see that there is somewhat of a need here to do that and to see where you can make changes for yourself. Some of you might be dating someone who needs to go through a lot of changes themselves too. I'm also seeing some of you might be with somebody who's too immature. Or somebody that's unreliable. I'm also seeing here that some of you are going to finally, like, I think for some of you, you're going to be able to communicate things, but then there's going to be others of you who finally get to a place where you can say what it is you need to say. And I feel like for somebody out there, there's a Cancer out there, it's like you need to be able to say something and express yourself freely, but you've been like terrified. I feel like you've been holding this in, and you're terrified to say what the fuck it is you want to say because of where it would leave you in your relationship. And I get this feeling of like, if you're going to leave somebody, you don't know where to go or what to do or how it's going to turn out, and so you kind of just stay to stay. That needs to be evaluated. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, Cancers. For the most part, I feel like, your relationships, you're just either going to be all in or all out, maybe some dating, but I definitely see a lot of work that has to be done within relationships. But I do see some good times and events coming up as well. So I hope y'all have a good one. Bye, Cancers.